Okay, let's get started. So, last lecture, as I mentioned in the email, the recording was not successful. So, you can watch some of the videos from the last year needed. So last lecture, we talked about how to use Markdown and also how to use Jupyter Notebook briefly, and how to add a base to the Jupyter Notebook so that you can click. Basically about Lab 2. So again, if you missed the lecture, you can check out the video from the in 2023, and it's about the intro to Google Colab, also intro to Visual Studio Code. No, not exactly the same. So because I don't remember what I taught last year, but like I said, don't use the video as an excuse to not come to class, because if you miss it, if I happen to introduce new content that will not cover in the previous year, then you'll be out of luck. And you don't have like reading materials. You just need to figure out yourself. If I have time, I try to record it. It's going to take me another hour to do that. So I try to find time to some those missing recordings. But there's no guarantee, okay? So I just want to point out in advance, don't expect me to redo everything. The recording will not successful. It happens sometimes. Try your best to make efforts to come to class. So for today, we're going to talk about how to create Python package. So the last couple weeks, we have covered how to use some of the software, how to use Git, right? How to use GitHub. What else? Visual Studio Code, Honda, right? So those are the basic tools that you need to be using throughout the semester. And today is basically laying the foundation for your Python package. And it's very important that you know how to do that. As I mentioned in the email, you need to make sure you choose the name that you want to use. Fine, today you're just going to test it, but the next day or two, make sure you settle on the name, because you won't be able to go. You can still change it, but it's going to take a lot of work to actually redo everything. So you better build something and then keep adding things to it. It becomes your signature identity rather than have to redo everything. And so first, I want to show you where you can get the resources. So if you go to the website resources and scroll down to find the sample repository, I added a new link here. See this one? I already added it to be published. So if you click on the last links here, cookiecutter template, open it. This is a new repository that I created a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, last week. This is a template that can make it so much easier for you to create a Python package. Think about you're trying to build a house. Okay, so in the past you probably need to like buy the land, and then need to design like how to lay the foundation, contact the company to have the all you need to know how to do the stuff. Or you need to ask somebody to do that for you. I have a contractor or have a builder that can build the thing for you. This template is kind of like a builder. If you ever go to buy the house, you go to the buy house like, I want this model, I want leg model, I want this model, I want basically layout pretty much. You can choose, and then you don't have to worry about how to do things on your own. So this is more like template. It's going to get all the things you need, and then you can have some minor customization. But most of the things can basically, the heavy lifting is being done by this template. So if you really want to create a Python package, it takes you 5 minutes. Your package will be up and running, and then anyone around the globe can install it. But it's going to take you some time to actually think about what you want to add. So think about what functionality you want to provide for the user. It's going to take some time. So this is the whole semester. You want to add things to it. You're going to build on top of it. But this is basically the foundation. Basically, it is laying the foundation for your package, for your house. And then you can think about, I want this kitchen. I want to the bedroom. But how many is up to you how you want to do that. Question? Oh, it's under resources. So if you go to the resources, the main page, and then sample repositories, the last link here, called cookiecutter high package. This is the one you're going to use. In the last year, I took the other one is using all the template, and some of the things are being deprecated. So this is the latest one that use this one. If it was my video from the last year, it's different. So make sure that you understand the differences. We're going to go through step by step how to do that. And so here shows you the step. It looks quite complicated. We're going to go through one by one. And also there's a video actually here. This is more like 20-minute video that I recorded last week just to went through all the process, how to do that. And in this lecture, we're going to go through that step by step. Make sure you follow using your laptop. So before I do that, I'm going to show you an example. Right? What is the Python package look like? So the template basically going to help you create a bunch of template files that's needed for a Python package. So more like all the files that is necessary. And you also have to have a documentation website. I'm going to use maybe the Gmap, okay, the kind of a template, or leafmap, whichever you like. So we're going to have a bunch of files, something like this, and we're going to create this one called pyproject.toml file. So all the Python package, you want either going to have this toml file or you want to have a setup.py. So those are the two ways. But nowadays, the standard way is to use this one. So this one indicating it's a Python package. And if you click inside, it's going to show you some of the metadata information. What kind of dependency is in there? And required dependencies is in the requirements.txt. So these requirements.txt specify what your package needs you on top of. And you can add things in here. We'll talk about more later throughout the semester, but for now, just to show you, every Python package depends on something else. Okay, so you're not building a Python package from scratch, and you're not trying to build a house and then trying to buy all the materials like by yourself. There's something like out there that already people have, and then you don't have to create those materials by yourself. You can buy from Home Depot, you can buy from Lowe's. Like you don't need to go to cut the tree and then trying to like, oh, I'm doing no. People have done it. You don't need to start from scratch. And you're also going to see a directory here called docs. So this one hosted a website. So the documentation website actually is being built automatically from here. And later on, you want to add some markdown files to this one. So you don't need to know HTML. You don't need to know how to do JavaScript. You can just write simple markdown text. And this is the website. So if you go to the gmap.org, this website is built using Markdown that we have talked about. There's nothing HTML or JavaScript that you need to know. And you're going to have some basic documentation. You can also search. You're going to have a menu here. You can click. You have notebook and other stuff. So this entire website is a bunch of notebooks and Markdowns. Okay, so it's simple, super easy to use. And we're going to go through that throughout this semester. And yeah, that's pretty much. And then you're going to have instructions, tutorials. So these are all customizable. You can do things. So the template is going to help you create some of those files. All right, so next, let's get started. So I'm going to show you step by step. And I'm going to open this one. If you forget, you can always come back to watch the video, either this lecture, or you can go to the bottom. There's also the video here, shows you step by step. And the first step here is to create the template. So in order to create a template, you need to install this cookiecutter and also this one called bump my version. So this one is to help you release new packages, increasing the version number. We will not use it. Probably, yeah, we might use it in this lecture, but you're going to use more in the future. So the first step is to install the packages. You can use Mamba or you can use pips because these are pretty smaller ones. So I'm just going to, right here, copy this one. And then you can open your terminal or your Anaconda prompt, whichever. I use my Anaconda prompt. Or your terminal, whichever you want. And then, oops, my terminal. Activate the Conda environment and then just install those packages. Okay, you can click the button here, just copy. So Conda activate, okay. I'm going to install to my geo environment. Then just Control V, hit enter. It should install the packages needed with the cookie cutter template. This is a pretty lightweight package. It should not install a lot of stuff. Wait for a couple seconds. You should have that up and running. Then you can go to the directory where you want to put your package. So let me go to my downloads directory. Tab in here. Delete all my stuff. Yeah, that one is fine. It's not a big deal. Yeah. So this is why you want to use condown mamba. It's going to say which one is compatible, but these two are pretty smaller ones, so it's not going to. Okay. Once it's done, you can close it. Okay. So next, we can start creating the package. So in here, again, create the package structure. So what you need to do is to copy this one. So it's called cookie cutter. Basically means that I created this one so that I can create all the files, so you don't have to create one by one. So you're gonna create a bunch of files, depends on your input. Okay, so just copy that one and then come to, for example, my downloads directory. Again, I'm going to open the terminal, or you can just use the cd to change directory here under my downloads directory. Then, and you need to activate the conda environment where you install this cookie cutter template. Then just Control V. So cookie cutter, and then it's going to pull from GitHub and from my repository. So if you hit enter, okay, it's going to first to clone the repository, and then you see it's done. Then it's going to ask your full name. So do you see this one? Yes. Don't hit enter. Okay. Slow. Follow me. If you hit enter, you may not go back. You need to redo it. Okay. So if you already hit enter, you reopen it and then you try again. Okay. So this is where you want to start providing information. And so for your package, you do some real, okay? Like I said, you should already think about what's the name for your package. But this one is your name, so I'm going to enter my real name, okay? Because it's going to show up on GitHub, also going to show up on PyPI. So don't use fake name in here unless you really want to. Okay, so my full name, so first name, last name, enter. Your email, so this should be the email, not necessarily the same as your GitHub, but it's going to show on PyPI is when people can contact you. So let me maybe show you here. Like all the information they want to provide is going to eventually showing up somewhere here on this page. So this is where your home page. This is where your contact that people can in here, right? Also, when people click this one, it's going to basically pull out your email address. Try to use your real email is usually the same as your GitHub account. So I enter my email. So be careful, check carefully before you enter. Okay, this is my email, and then your GitHub username. Again, this is your real GitHub user ID. Okay, so it's my GSWQS. Enter, and then your project name. Okay, so this is the one that I asked you to think about. Fine, right now if you don't have one, you can just enter something. But first you need to make sure that you go to the PyPI homepage, search the name. If the name has already been taken, then you cannot do it. Somebody has used it. So for example, if I type leaf name, if there's a name exactly the same, you cannot take it. There's no way, because later you need to push this one to PyPI. It will reject your submission. Okay. No, this is the project name, so the name of your package. So the name usually is going to also the same as your GitHub project. Try to use the same one. So make sure you search it. If it is taken, you don't do it. Also, even your name is not taken, if it is very similar, you might not be able to take it as well. So for example, there's already a package called leaf map. If I have another one called leaf map key or something, they might reject you. I don't know, there's like automatic rejection. So sometimes it's safe to find something that's not even close. like not being taken, okay? And so for this demo, I'm going to maybe, how about this one? I'm going to choose a name called Geo Hey, okay? Good, nobody has taken this one. I'm going to take this one, okay? Don't take it. Don't try to enter this one because I want to do it first. You won't be able to do it. So if I take this one, and then I can push it. So try to come up with some other names that whatever you like. So I'm going to use this one. Okay. Once you figure out it's not taken, then come to here. Also, I would recommend to come up with a name that's relevant to the things you want to build, functionality you want to provide. Don't try to have something that's very generic, something very funny, but there's no real content because people only pip install and then go to type that name. So you want to have a funny name. But also don't make it super long because I want to type. I don't want to type a very long name. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to just type Geo Hey, just as a demo. Okay, and enter. And the repo name, I would recommend using the same name. Okay, the same as your package name. So for me, I'll use the same name. You just hit enter. You don't need to type if you want to accept the default. So the things within the parentheses, those are default settings. So I can just hit enter. And the project Slack. So this is the one that you need to be careful. If you choose a name that has a hyphen, so for example, geo hyphen hey or geo whatever, your Slack will be geo underscore something. By default, it should be automatically underscore because this is the name that you want to use when you are do the programming. You want to import the package. So for example, import leaf map, import something. You cannot use the hyphen. There's no a valid one. So you can use the underscore. So that's why the project Slack is something. For me, I don't have the hyphen, so it doesn't matter. But if you have the hyphen in your name, the project stack, it should automatically be changed to underscore. You don't have to change it. But don't change it back to hyphen, okay? You're going to have problem. So use it as default and hit enter. Then you can give a description. This is something you can describe. You can change it later. So for me, I would say, okay, Python package demo facial. No, no, we are creating a template right now. Yeah, and later we will use conda. Right now it's not it. So you can just write a simple description, and then your PyPI username. So okay, so this one also needs to be real. So this one is the account that I ask you to create. Basically, whatever name that you use, usually it's the same as your GitHub, but not necessarily. This is your PyPI name that later you want to publish to PyPI. So for me, it's the same as the GitHub username. Right? Next one, version. Okay, 0.0.1. You can change it, but usually just is a default. So later on, you can release 0.02, 0.03, and then once you have some like minor release, you can become 0.10, 0.20, and then eventually major version will be 1.0, 1.1, something like that. So for now, because we don't have anything yet, just accept the default, and then use PyTest, and just use the default, so no, and then add the base, no, create also file, just no, yeah, use the default settings. And the next one, command line interface. For now, we don't need it, so just select the first one. You can add more information later. Next is the license. So for me, I will just choose the MIT license. Right now, you guys are not doing anything that has the potential to be commercialized. So you can create other projects later, but for now, just if you don't know that, just use the MIT. Next one, select your default GitHub branch. So if you create a new account in the last couple of months, the default branch will be just main. But if you created account a long time ago, it might be master. Depends on where is your branch. So you can always go to your GitHub account to check that. I think it's under your settings. Most users nowadays just using the main, but it may not be. Yeah, it's somewhere, I forgot. But again, you can change it. So for me, I will just use the main. So just hit enter. And then, oh, it's done. You see? The last one, Python's version. Okay, Python 3.11. This is the last one. So this one is the one used to test your packages. It doesn't mean that your package only support Python 3.11. It's the one we use to build the virtual computer to test it. This is the default version. So just in the future, if this Python 3.12 is very mature, then you can use Python 3.12. But for now, just hit enter. And you get an error. That's okay. Oh, okay. Oh, weird. Oh. Let me do it very, very quickly. Might be just my. Oh, ah, interesting. Top generation. So none of you get the error message? Ever encounter this? Works all fine on my what? Uh, Let me pause the video, okay? Let me figure out a way to get the package. Okay, so after some debugging, I was able to create the package in other computer, and then I copy over the file. So for you guys, you used to have a folder under whatever you location that you chose. We have all the files, something like this. So we're gonna have 4 directories and a bunch of other files. The .github something, this is all the automatic workflow, is to help you build and test your packages. So this one only works when you push things to GitHub. If you're working locally, it doesn't really matter. And you're going to have the documentation website. So this is how the website is being built. Right now we have some sample files in here. It's going to be useful when you build the website. And the whatever the package name, the same as your package name, you're going to have another one inside. This is one is where the real content of your Python package, the things they're going to provide. So throughout the semester, this is where you're going to add things to it. For now, it should be only have 3 files under there. And there's also a test file is to test your packages, write some functions to so-called automatic testing or continuous testing. We'll cover that later. Also a bunch of other files. So the most important one I want you to pay attention is this one, high project .toml file. It's a plain txt. You can open it using Notepad, and also a requirements.txt. This is the one that you have some required packaging there. Right now, I only have listed NumPy and nothing else, but we can add more stuff later. Okay. And also, there's a requirements._dev. This is the one that you use to build the website and other stuff. So these are the optional that you use to do development, but it's not a requirement for the users when they install your package. Make sense? So when you're doing the development, the testing, you need some additional one. Okay, so this is the template. Pretty simple and straightforward. Next, let's talk about how to push these things to GitHub. So those stuff. Oh, it's where you open the terminal. So earlier, when do you open it? It might be under your user directory. It must be somewhere. So because I open the terminal and then I use the cookie cutter. If you just use the default one, it might be under your home directory somewhere. So can you find it somewhere here under your home directory? You see users under your name. Do you find it somewhere here? No? You find it? Do you find it? Yeah, it might be under user directory, your home user directory. So by default, when you open the terminal, it's under your C users, your name. You can CD into a certain directory. So for you guys, if you want to keep using that, that's fine. I'm under my download directory, so it doesn't really matter. So wherever you find this one, come here, and then you get into the directory, okay? And the next step is actually to create a Git repository. Let me show you here. I'm going to show you the steps again. So we have finished step number 1, okay? So the next step is to create a Git repository. So when we create a template, it's not a Git repository, okay? So the next step is to initialize a Git repository. So get into whatever directory that you have, and then right click, and then open in terminal. Yeah, you can use Git-based, but you need to CD into the directory, okay? So make sure when you open, you're gonna see something like this. See user, my name, and then downloads, and then my package name, wherever you are. And type the command, git init, okay? Type this one, git space init. Hit enter. If you get any error message, most likely means that you are not within this package repository. So it says initialize a Git repository in blah blah blah, and then hit. So it's going to be a hidden folder somewhere. Let me refresh, see if we can see it. It's not there, but if I show view and then show, I think the hidden items, you should see this .git directory in here. So right now, this is a Git repository that we can push to GitHub. Earlier, if you don't see the .git directory, that means it's not a Git directory. Can you see this one if you unhide it? No, it's under the view and then show, and then check the hidden items. And you should see this one, .git. It's kind of a little bit grayed out, hidden directory. See? Oh, really? Right click. Oh, okay, yeah, the same thing, view. And then, no, there's no hidden directory. You're not seeing here. So you need to use this one, view, show, and hidden items. Mac computer, I don't remember which shortcut. Linux is control period. Okay, so once it's done, then we can start pushing the thing to GitHub. So let me show you. Once you are here, you can open using Visual Studio Code. So now it can be recognized by Visual Studio Code as a Git repository. Right click, and then more, and then open with VS Code. No, just open using Visual Studio Code, right? So on the left side here, you see, you should be able to see all these things. U means it's unstaged. So right now, basically, we added like 34 files, nothing in there yet. This is putting up right now empty. Okay. So what we need to do is to commit the changes, this repository, and type a message. So I'm just going to type initial commit. Okay. Just initial commit, and then Control Enter. Control Enter. It should commit all the files. Don't push it yet, okay? Right now, your package is not GitHub yet, so you cannot push. Just Control Enter, and then it's going to ask you to push branch. Don't do that yet because it needs to find a destination first. And once you have that, then we can start creating a Python repository on GitHub. So go to your GitHub directory and then create a new one. So I'm going to go to my account, or I think upper right here, click the icon, new repository, okay? Select yourself as the owner and the repository name. So this is where you want to enter. Usually it should be the same as your package name. So basically the directory name. So I'm going to use GeoHey, okay? And the description, if you want, you can type something. I say Python package demo for Geospatial. And choose it to be public. Don't check anything else, okay? Otherwise, you're gonna have trouble. So don't, it's be an empty one, nothing else. Are we done? Yeah, commit, just control enter. And then wait, okay? And then create repository. It should be an empty one, nothing else. So it should show you this page. And this page is going to say if you want to push to an existing repository or create a new one. So what you need is something like this, okay? So on the right here, copy, click this button to copy all the command lines. And then, again, come back to your repository here. Again, you need to use terminal, okay? I'm going to open my terminal in here. So what this one is doing is to tell the Git repository saying that the remote means is where you want to push to, okay? So just come here, right click, and it's going to ask you to paste anyway. Say yes. You might need to hit enter. The last one is not executed. So you need to hit enter. There are 3 lines of commands. The first 2 are automatically executed. The last one is not. So now if you hit enter, you see? You should see something like this, blah, 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 detect, and then new branch, and then here. Do you see this one? So copy those 3 lines from your GitHub repository. Do you see this page? And on the second one, this one. Don't copy this one, okay? Otherwise, you'll be having trouble. This one. Push on existing repository from command line because we create a repository locally and then we're going to push to here. No Git folder. Outside the Git folder, the main directory. You need to cd and then space peer to get to the upper directory. You need to open a terminal here. Don't get into others. Okay. And then just control, right click and then paste, hit enter. Then you should be good. What happened? You didn't commit the changes, maybe. Did you commit the changes? You need, so if you're not, you need to come back to the Visual Studio Code. Let me show you in here. Because if you have nothing to commit, you will fail. So if you open your repository using Visual Studio Code, oh, why it's not here? Let me open again. So I'm going to right click, open my repository. You need to make sure that it's committed, otherwise there's nothing to commit. So on the left side here, you should see this. Right now, you don't see any green number. If you see something, that means it's not committed. So you need to write a commit message. No, you cannot have any files. You need to delete it because you already add a license file. It doesn't work. Like I said, it needs to be an empty, nothing. If you add some files accidentally when you create a repository, it won't work. So you should see this one. If you see the main repository, then it's not working. Then then commit the changes, and then create a new repository, and then run those 3 commands, and then you can push. So if now I come here, see, right? Earlier when I run those 3 commands, you should see something like this. And from here I can just git push, git space push, hit enter. Then it push the stuff to GitHub. Oh, I can refresh. I think it's already pushed. So if I refresh my page, you should see all the files in here. See that? No? Okay. I will help you out later. Anyone else can see this one on GitHub? On your directory? Yes? Just one? Two? The same name as your package. Yeah, don't do something else. You see here, my like GeoHey is the same as my package name in here. So if you can push to this one, then that means your package is linked to GitHub. So now you can do stuff and synchronize the changes. So let me show you one last step. So for now, you will see here is fail. This one here, some checks were not successful, and then this one fail because you don't have the permission. So we need to change the permission. So what you need to do is to show you here this one more time. Don't worry, I will show you and make sure that you can link it. Not difficult, but let me finish this part yet first. So configure GitHub Actions. Okay. So you go to Settings, Actions, General, Workflow. So come here, come to your GitHub repository, click Settings, and then on the left side, you should see, where is it? Settings, Actions, Actions. Where's Actions? Here, Actions. Okay, on the left side, Actions, and then General, and scroll down all the way to the end. Change these options to read and write permissions. Okay, read and write, and then click Save. Okay, Settings, General, and then read and write permissions, because the robot is going to execute something on our behalf. So you need to read and write permission. We're done, and then you can come back to the Actions tab here at the top. And if you want, you can click this initial commit again. That one that fails, upper right here, you can rerun the fail jobs. So you can see click rerun all jobs, and just click the button. It will execute again. So what this one is doing is going to build the website, build your package website for you. It's going to take a couple seconds, a minute or two, but you should be able to push the website. Hopefully, you can see the documentation website up and running really quickly. So this one is installing all the dependencies required to build the package. Again, if you're having troubles, I'll help you out after class. Don't worry too much. I've done this so many times, so I really has any issues. It might be looks very complicated, but once you're familiar, you can do things like very quickly create a package in 5 minutes. And you're going to install the packages, and then you're going to build the website. Yeah, so that's pretty much. You see here we have finished number 6. Okay, 1 to 6, and we cover the remaining one the next lecture. Oops, it's still waiting. Let me see. Oh, this is just anyway, something funny. I'll fix it in the next lecture. I make some changes last week. Anyway, so at least after this lecture, you should have your package up in here, and it's linked to your local repository. So whenever you make changes, you want to push in here, and it should automatically build, right? If you click here, you should see this all should be passing, except on this one is failing. But we fix these errors in the next lecture. And if you need something, you are welcome to check out the lecture recording, or you can look at this video that I recorded last week. You still have some time, so I can help you in class here to at least create a package.